get the show started. Um, I would like to go over the Magnificent Seven. So everything has now had earnings except for Nvidia. They are I want to say 15, 16 days, something like that. Let me share my screen share with you guys. Cool. All right, so I have my chart up here on SPY, and last week we were talking about easing off the pedal for a few reasons, right? First reason, we had the Magnificent Seven reporting earnings, right? Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla. They've all reported earnings except Nvidia. Nvidia is in 16 days, actually. It says it right here on your guys' trading views. They are in 16 days. So the Magnificent Seven comprise obviously of the top seven stocks in the S&P 500. So the way that they perform kind of has a big dictation of how the rest of the market is going to perform. Oh man, excuse me. The way that the rest of the market is going to perform, especially when it comes to the tech sector, being that most of the Max 7 is tech. So let's just start from the first one. Apple. Um, what's cool too, if you guys hit your trading views, if you hit that E button, it'll just pop up on the chart right here. How they performed. So earnings, they didn't beat it, right? By 40%, they missed by 0.63. But for revenue, they beat it by 0.44. Okay. And right now they're trading at $222, down from all-time highs of 237, right? So not too far from all-time highs, right? Amazon, let's see how they're doing, right? They beat both. They beat earnings and revenue by a good amount, and that's why they tested all-time highs just on Friday, right? So we're here right back into all-time high areas, testing support. Was that an itchy pattern? No, it wasn't. Right, let's go back. Nope. So anyways, Amazon is testing near all-time highs. Google, let's see how Google did. Google also had a big pump and then sold off. It's down about $27 from all-time highs, $28 from all-time highs. Trading right back in our moving average support areas right here. Probably a good trade to look to get into after the elections fuss, or if you're more aggressive, Google could be a really good entry here on our moving averages with just a simple stop loss below the moving averages right here, and then for a potential trade to the upside, right? But don't just buy the entry, wait for a bullish kicker, wait for a blast strat, wait for somewhat of a strategy confirmation before entering. Meta, they also beat earnings and popped up to near all-time highs, just a buck away from all-time highs, and now it's trading back below, trading under the moving averages, going down, right? So if we lose the moving averages, it means, right, we lose the 89, we go to the 144, we lose the 144, we go to the 200, right? We just trade them down. Same thing with any of the other tickers. Microsoft earnings. They beat both revenue and earnings, but the stock just got sold off into. It was already priced in for investors, right? And that's something that we were talking about a lot going into this week, right? Write down notes of everything that's been priced in. Write down notes of how they performed during earnings, but more importantly, wait at a time where the market has continued to continued to go up and up and up, and now we're in a volatile moment of the market, right? Tesla reported earnings, and they reported earnings and they popped off. They beat earnings, but they didn't hit their revenue, but they beat the overall earnings, so that's okay. But then it just got sold off into, right? So even with that earnings beat, right, investors said, hey, even with that kind of earnings, they're not worth more than 267, and they said that over here way back in September. And then investors said the same thing back in July. They're not worth more than an average of 270, let's say, right? It keeps getting sold off. But what's clear is buyers definitely keep buying at 164s. They were buying at 180s. They were buying at 202s. They were buying at 212s now, right? So eventually, either the top is going to give to the upside, or the bottom is going to give to the lower side. But in essence, actually, hold on. Let me go over Nvidia. Nvidia hasn't reported earnings. They're in 16 days, so way after elections, way after everything else. And Nvidia is the second biggest market cap stock right now in the stock market. You got Apple first at 3.38 trillion, and then Nvidia 3.34 trillion. So, with all of this earnings, right? We need to see, is this priced in? Is it not priced in? How will the market perform, right? Everything performed pretty good. Had some pullbacks, but everything is trading within range. So we got this uncertainty out of the way. Now we have to focus on two of the other uncertainties that remain. Uh, One, everyone knows the election, right? Election night is tomorrow. Everyone, make sure you guys go vote. It's super important that every single person votes. So it's what you pay your damn taxes for, at least, right? So go vote, and then we have the elections as a catalyst for the other direction that the market is going to go, and now we have to wait that out to see what happens with the elections. There's no way we're going to find out who wins tomorrow based off of what I'm reading on the news, based off some states allowing ballots in late, this and that, which is kind of wild to me, really freaking wild to me. But now we have this one other catalyst that we just have to wait through, right? We know that at the moment, investors think, hey, Apple is worth this much, Amazon is worth this much, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Tesla, they're all worth this much. And that's great that investors think that everything is still worth that much, because it only means that the market can continue higher unless there's other catalysts that affect the markets, which are the two catalysts that we're talking about: the elections, and then the third one is the Fed rate cut, which they're going to talk about on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. If they're going to cut another 0.25 basis points off the Fed rates. Now, let's say, this is just market. This is just what the general overall market is saying. These aren't my words. They're saying if Kamala wins, bear market for like crypto. They're saying Trump wins, a bull market for crypto. If Trump wins, bull market for the stock market. If Kamala wins for the stock market, I don't think anyone's really concerned. Throughout history, if you actually look through the hundreds of years, the market has actually performed fine when the Democrats are also in office. Um, and the market performs well during times of war, and how do I not get political on it? But I don't know, if the Democrats win, I see more wars, which is also good for the stock market, which is kind of fucked up, but it's the truth. So I'm not really too concerned about the stock market either way. Crypto is definitely in favor of Trump. But even if, let's say, Trump wins and we're bullish, 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 if the Fed rate gives us bad news, then it still means people are going to pull their money away from the market because the rates are too high. They need to focus on more risk off stuff, right? Um, One thing that I was posting last week, and just let me read the chat because I'm getting a few bings. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm missing any questions. One other thing too, um, that I was gonna say. Oh crap! It just slipped my mind.
While you think about that, guys, just to be clear too, just because if Trump wins tomorrow, that doesn't mean money's gonna come out of thin air. Granted, we do print money, but like money's not gonna come out of thin air from the civilian population to go in and invest. Like we still need to do a lot of work to get back into a healthy place into our economy. So don't expect like record breaking numbers of soar right in front of your face, and don't FOMO. Like you need to assess the situation carefully and get into the right place at the right time, and not just ape into everything because something happened. Who knows what happened? Like literally, it could go either way.
Right, which is again why we focus on a risk off at the moment. There's times to be risk on and there's times to be risk off. Like if we just wait through this stuff, you'll save your money. There's no reason to blow your accounts when trading is a little bit tougher and there's not as much momentum and there's all this uncertainty in the market. I promise, if you just hold and sit on your hands, right? You guys saw those runs we've had. For the newer members who joined in the last 60 days, that crazy 10 win streak loss and then another 8, 9 win streak, we had that 2 times this year. And then we came into chop, and then we came into chop. That's fine. In those moments where we have nonstop momentum trading, we can crush and make 1, 2, 3 months, if not 6 months worth of trading funds in just those momentum runs. So there's a time to be risk off and risk on. And as I say, risk off, risk on, there's something that you guys need to also watch if you want to be long-term investors in the crypto market and be real crypto sleuths and savants. You need to also look at USDT dominance, right? What USDT dominance shows us is how much of the entire crypto market cap is in USDT, right? And then what that shows us, as that spikes up, it means more people are maybe selling their futures trades, they're selling their Bitcoin, they're selling their ETH, they're whatever it is, they're selling their crypto for USDT for stable, right? So as Bitcoin dominance goes up, that's telling investors, hey, the bigger investors, the guys that make the market, they are going risk off because they're switching into stable that doesn't fluctuate. It's like going from stocks to bonds, basically. Now, when you see USDT go down, the US dominance goes down. Well, what does that mean? That means that people are taking their funds from USDT and they're converting it to another crypto. Who cares what crypto it is, right? What that tells me, I don't give a fuck what they're buying. What that tells me, though, is that money is going back from stable coins back into either Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, whatever it is. It's going back into the crypto ecosystem. So it shows that bigger money is more risk on, and they're viewing the market as, hey, it's okay to be more risk on when USDT dominance goes down. It's like switching from bonds to then stocks mainly. So that is a lot of what's going on right now. So we have kind of like a wait, but we have to be waiting, but at the same time, uh, this is what the market is doing, right? And the reason why I like to wait is because I'm not a market maker, right? Maybe I don't want to be extremely risk on, even if I see the market makers risk on, right? Because they probably have some, selling systems and all that stuff, maybe that I don't have. Plus, I don't care about capturing every single portion of the move. What I care about is finding the trend that happens. Once that trend is there, there's so much money to be made in the trend that I don't care if I miss. And a lot of traders kind of feel this rush like of, oh, like this is gonna happen. We're gonna miss the biggest run, this and that. Guys, all that stuff. It's actually a lot slower than you think. The whole news, the way that people talk, the way that people tweet, it's all designed to cause FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. When instead, as a trader, you just got to wait and catch the trends and catch those good runs, and you'll be freaking limitless in terms of your earning. J Dog, you want to come cover some Web3 Alpha? And then I got some more crypto news to go over.
Yeah, I mean, guys, really not much to go over. Because the meme market reacts 10 times harder than like the regular market. Everything in memes are pretty much down except for Doge right now, which is ripping. Um, but the trenches, man, let me tell you, the trenches are feeling it. Um, the two biggest news segments that happened this week, and I don't know if you saw it. Probably one of them being Peanut the Squirrel. If you don't know who Peanut the Squirrel was, he was a pet squirrel in New York that the government, the New York government, came in and raided the owner's house, and their primary target was to kill his pet squirrel, because of permit violation. So they decided to euthanize the.
But can I control, like, why they decided, hey, like killing the squirrel? Is it like
I
not
don't know.
not calling animals?
Well, that's the whole controversy right now because he didn't have permits for that squirrel. I guess it's like considered a wild animal or whatever. But along with his squirrel, he also had a pet raccoon named Fred, that they also killed. Cutest raccoon I've ever seen. Anyways, the New York State Department decided to kill them. It turned to this huge virality thing right there. a token launched, shot up to already to 130 mil market cap. But my point being is this: that it came right back down just as quick, and it's at 40 mil market cap right now. The market right now is very turbulent. I haven't been calling much. I've been wrecked on a couple coins. Um, so as of right now, I'm kind of just laying low, sitting back, watching everything unfold. I'm still in my like long term conviction bags, but everything else, I got out of my election coins, not actually like 30 minutes ago. And yeah, and I'm just gonna play it safe. The other election coin that we were in, that MAGA 2024 one, um, it looks like a bunch of coals were selling on it. However, the dev and the team are still holding their supply. They're still working at it. I don't know what's going to happen, but the chart looks pretty nuked. I personally lost myself a good amount in that. Um, so yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, we're just sitting back and we're not going to get too crazy in this market right now. We're going to watch everything unfold tomorrow, and basically when the election concludes. But yeah, that's pretty much the biggest news in meme coins right now. Nothing too crazy. Like I said, we just want to play it safe. We don't want to throw money at the wind here. But yeah, let's jump into crypto, Arthur.
You guys are seeing Doge perform quite well compared to the rest of the altcoin markets. Does anyone know why that's happening right now? What the fuss is about? Why this is happening?
I have a
Drop
I
it
have
in
a
the chat.
I have a personal theory on that.
All right, Justin. What's your personal theory?
What if, because there is another Dogecoin, like like government efficiency coin. There's another one of that. What if Doge all along was the original political coin for Trump?
Mm, I
I don't
mean,
know. Why is that the only
it's
meme coin
basically
pumping?
because Elon keeps hinting at it nonstop, just
I
like
mean,
Graham said, just like I've been talking about.
dude, Elon's been
Uh,
talking about Doge for 3 4 years. I honestly don't think that's it.
No shit. He's been talking about Doge for 3, 4 years, but you see what he's been talking about recently?
What has he been talking about
Keeps using the
recently?
same Department of Government Efficiency, what his position is going to be. His
Yeah,
new position that he just named the title after Trump. Fucking spells out Doge.
I
He
know, but
was in a
there's
he
an
was in
actual
a
Department of Government
$200 million
Efficiency
summit.
token.
Huh?
I know, but there's an actual Department of Government Efficiency token. They just happen to both spell Doge.
Yeah, but that came after Elon's tweets.
It came,
There's
yeah.
also what's
Well,
up?
that's my point. Like Doge is the original one, the original political coin.
I mean, I wouldn't call it the original political coin. It just shifted that way.
I'm saying it was there
Don't
first
see
before
why.
those that came out.
I mean, yeah, it was there before that Department of Government Efficiency coin, sure, but it's not the original political coin. Not by all
Okay.
means, I think. You had all those other ones pop up way before. The whole Department of Government Efficiency thing kind of came way after Bowdoin, Trump, all that stuff.
No, yeah, it did. I know that, but like when Elon started talking about Department of Government Efficiency, is when Department of Government Efficiency came out. But
Right.
Doge already existed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the OG one. They're looking at that as the OG one.
Got it. So something else too that's if you guys Elon is probably under like 20, 30 different investigations by 20 to 30 different 2 3 letter agencies in the US. From Tesla, SpaceX, basically everything that he's involved in has some kind of weird lawsuit basically. One of them too is for his Tesla stock option bonuses. He might have to pay like $56 billion in taxes on that. which would obviously drop his net worth like 25-30%, which is a massive, massive hit if that goes through. Um, and basically, there's kind of a lot riding on Trump winning for Elon because of all those lawsuits that he has. And then he kept, kind of hinting at Doge. Doge can fix it, meaning the Department of Government Efficiency, right? But that's more towards like the government and all of their salaries and excessive spending and overstaff that they have, right? Because he came into X, cleaned house, and X is still operating just fine. And that's what they can probably do with the government, right? Like they can clean house with so many people, and run it a lot more efficiently. With if Trump does win, and Elon is kind of on the side, then you can basically kind of figure out that all those lawsuits are basically going to drop, and basically anything that Elon touches in the next 4 years is going to be bullish. Whether that be private investing in SpaceX, or people buying Tesla stock, or let's see what happens with Doge. And the reason why I keep saying Doge is one of those lawsuits was like a 240 million dollar lawsuit for the Doge payments that Elon was taking Doge payments for merchandise like early this year or
Mm.
late last year. Like I can't remember when, and he got hit with a 200 something million-dollar lawsuit for that. And now that lawsuit, it's been overturned, and it was overturned like a month or something ago. But now he keeps kind of hinting at Doge payments again for like the X platform and for Tesla stuff. So the market loves to run off a rumor and narrative. It's right. SNL with Elon is the best example. Everyone thought, oh, SNL, he's going to pump it to $1, right? It's the classic buy the rumor, sell the news, right? You hear this rumor, there's this narrative going on. Elon's going to be on SNL. It's going to pump, 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 pump. The day of, it's donezo, right? And now there's this narrative of Doge potentially doing this, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. Right now, we're in the rumor state. The official news hasn't dropped yet of just what's going to happen. So that's why you're starting to see Doge move. Good volume in Doge, breakout patterns, bouncing off the 34 EMA. You got Blast dropping charts on there already. What follows Doge? SHIB. Great play right there. A little bit more riskier. I wouldn't trade both, right? Pick one or the other. You can think of SHIB as kind of like the 3x ETF version of it, just like Pepe is kind of like the 3x ETF version of ETH. Uh, I feel like, meaning you're going to see higher percentage up and down on SHIB versus Doge, right? If Doge pumps, let's say 5%, your SHIB position is going to pump more. But also, if Doge loses 5%, your SHIB position is going to lose more too. So, same thing with Pepe and ETH, right? Pepe follows ETH up and down. So if you're trading ETH and you want like a more leveraged version of ETH, just trade Pepe. If you're trading Doge, you want a more leveraged version of Doge, just trade SHIB. So that's
Yeah,
what's happening with the whole Doge theory.
dude, the SEC is out of control too, man. Like they're attacking the crypto industry so hard. I mean, just recently they sent. I mean, all the well notices that they're sending out, but now they're sending out Immutable X. They just sent them a Wells notice. They're targeting crypto gaming, um, stuff like that. They're attacking all sectors, but yeah, I mean, sad to see, but this election's so important, and I truly believe this is the one that dictates the direction of, that will change America forever, in my opinion.
LPC says, I have a question about that, Fody. What's
Yeah,
the
go ahead,
cue?
man. What's the question? If Harris wins and SEC cracks down on crypto, do you think it will affect just the U.S.? Yeah, it can only affect the U.S. because this is SEC is a U.S. government entity. I wouldn't even call it. See, would you even call the SEC a government entity? Yeah.
I mean, I I'm a little indifferent with that response because yes, technically and technically would affect U.S. laws, right? But U.S. leads the laws for all of the EU. So I mean, it's the U.S. That's the staple. Most of the crypto market wealth is from U.S. people, even though Luxembourg trades about 28% of all Bitcoin. I know that because my buddy works there. But it's mainly U.S. And a lot of Russian folk that control a lot of the wealth in crypto. But it is actually primarily more U.S. dominant that controls the crypto wealth. Um, so yes, it'll really crack down with the U.S., but Mika follows that, right? It all kind of ties in together. If the U.S. does it, you can expect everything in NATO, in the European Union, especially to
Mm,
follow suit. They follow everything the
yeah.
U.S. does, and even if they don't, they have all these other laws in terms of moving money around from country to country. It's still monitored. It still has to be tested. So yes, 100% it will affect the whole world of crypto.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that aspect, of course, yeah, the markets will get affected. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with Arthur on that part. But from a standalone perspective, at the moment, like if it's a U.S. thing, it's just affecting U.S. consumers. But yeah, that in return that does affect the market. And then yeah, like Arthur said, EU will probably fall in line.
And then you'll probably have the easier restrictions with Dubai, with Palo, right, all that stuff. But eventually, they all kind of end up working with each other. And if not, and if you can get away with it in other countries, you have to actually make some drastic changes. It's not going to be as easy as setting up residencies and doing that, getting those digital IDs and all that stuff. None of that stuff is really going to um, what do you say on like a percentage amount? What is the U.S. EU dominance in crypto? The EU is you can forget about EU as a player in crypto. They're nothing burger. Half those people still don't know what Bitcoin is in the EU,
Here,
especially in the more relaxed countries.
here's a question for you, Arthur. If Trump wins and he goes super pro crypto, literally opens up the floodgates, do you think the EU is going to fall in line then, or do you think they're going to try to do the opposite?
EU is going to piggyback and follow whatever the US does. Those are my thoughts. With the few variants and tweaks, that's going to be the only change. And you know this because EU wasn't affected with any trading restrictions. Now they're slowly starting to bring in all of those restrictions. That's why so many trading companies were like, "Oh, well, it's just based out of London. We'll be all right." Nope. Well, now you got Mika stepping in, right? Same thing with all of the all of Europe itself, right? Europe too had all of its own different rules, and then the U.S. made the rules, and then Mika basically formed within the EU too, and it's the same thing. So I think they're all gonna basically kind of follow. Again, this is the EU specific on monetary policy. They always follow. Yep, you're right, 100%, Graham. So it's really going to be those countries that, like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Russia, China, right? They're going to have their own set of rules, right? Brazil. Okay, here's the easy way. BRICS will have their own shit. The US and EU will have their own shit. Easy peasy.
LPC asks what Mika
Mika,
is.
yeah. So if you look at our market unlocks over June, yep, all the ones in June, we talk about Mika a lot. It's basically the body that markets the EU's crypto rules and puts in the regulations for stablecoins, making sure that USDT is safe, and making sure that any other stablecoins that are introduced to the EU is safe and it's backed and it actually has liquidity. So it's a good thing, right? But they follow the U.S. Restrictions. So EU and US follow each other. Basically, BRICS and everything that's out of BRICS are going to follow each other. It's the easiest way to say it. And BRICS, for people that don't know, is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and now you got Saudi Arabia, you got Dubai, you got basically the rest of the world besides Europe and the US and BRICS. All right, guys. So that's all I got. Argentina is in it too. I think Lebanon just got put in. I'm not sure, but Argentina also big crypto gang right there. Um, but the U.S. is still killing it, man. And then you got Michael Saylor trying to buy every damn Bitcoin out there.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact, just to put things in perspective, guys. You got to understand, when you hear the number 40% in America, it's pretty big. 40% of Americans own cryptocurrency.
Pretty big stat.
Yeah, I
That
mean
used to be very little.
that's huge. Go. Eduardo
But
says go.
on a global penetration scale, you remember I was telling you guys we're about 4 to 6% infiltrated. Now we're like 6 to 8. Can't wait till we get to 10 to 12.
Eduardo just brought something up. He just brought up go. Guys, you see how quick these trends go in meme coins? I mean, dude, the AI meta is kind of dead. Am I thinking goat's dead? No, I don't think goat's really dead, but man, has it just like been underperforming? Um, Not much moving on it. It's taking a little bit of a dip, but all of its beta plays, all the other coins are in the gutter. So yeah, be careful. Stick to strong community coins. But yeah, at least we made money during the AI run.
Yo, guys, real quick too. Make sure you guys are utilizing everything that Stocklocked has. For you stock folks, the watch us and pre-market coffee, the people that use it, that ship prints. The email trades, ever since we did this new thing where we send one trade out a week, 3 of the last 4 have won. Amazing alpha right there. The market unlocks these videos. I can't believe I still have people asking me some shit that and it's clear that they haven't listened to any of the market updates, and then they're the ones struggling. You fucking deserve it if you're not watching the videos and you're struggling and you're not putting in any energy. There's so much free alpha out there. There's so many crazy emails that we send out. There's so many crazy posts that we make out there. If you're not making your 250 worth a month, DM me. You're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. DM me if you're not making the 250 a month, and I'll show you 3 or 4 different ways you can make it. That's all I got to say. Peace out, everybody. Thank you for the market update.